بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. أعزائي طلاب الصف الثالث الثانوي بمدارس رياض الصالحين، أهلا ومرحبا بكم. Today we are going to have a revision class and that will be on the student book on page 69. We are going to tackle the first two exercises only of the grammar section to make matters easier for you. So the first two exercises only. Exercise number 1 is all about conditionals. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs given. Reading number 1. If I were you, I blank not eat that. What do you think? Which case is this? Do you think it's the first? I can hear somebody say, no sir, it's the second, because here we have the past simple. Can you see? If I were you, what do you think? Yes. And this case in particular is used to give advice. So if I were you, I wouldn't eat that. In this case, we use would not and the verb, because this is second conditional and this is used to give advice. Okay? If I were you, I wouldn't eat that. Right? Okay. Number 2. I would have prepared something special for dinner if you were coming. As I always tell you that conditionals sound like mathematical equations. There is the part of the condition and the part of the consequence. Yes. Condition relates to the consequence and vice versa. If the condition is in a simple past, the consequence would be would or wouldn't and the bare infinitive. Okay? Number 2. I would have prepared something special for dinner if you were coming. And we have the verb know. What do you think? Have a look. Would have prepared. Would have, would, modal, have. Okay? Have and the past participle. Which case is this? Yes, this is the third case. Here we can write, I would have prepared something special for dinner if I had known you were coming. If I had known you were coming. Okay? Number 3. If I knew your number, I blank you last night. The verb is in. What tense is the verb knew here? Yes, it's the past. Correct. This is past simple. So what do I expect the tense to be in the consequence? I would expect it would. Yes. If I knew your number, I would call you last night. Number 4 rather. If you multiply 2 by 5, the answer, you know multiplication? This is math. This is pure mathematics. If you multiply 2 by 5, the answer, what do you think? This is zero case. You know why? Because it is all about facts. It's a mathematical fact. You do not multiply 2 by 5 today to equal 10 and tomorrow they equal 12. No, this is a fact. If you multiply 2 by 5, the answer is 10. So we should have is here. Multiply, present simple, and is, again, present simple. Okay, moving to number 5. I blank be tired right now if I had gone to bed late last night. Mm. The missing verb here is the consequence, because if is in the middle and the condition had gone. Had gone is past perfect. Am I right? So what do you expect the consequence to be? Yes, correct. I would have been tired right now if I had gone to bed late last night. Again, I would have been tired right now if I had gone to bed late last night. Okay. Okay, now have your time, take your time to think of 6, 7, and 8. Okay. I would have had a good time if I to your dinner last Saturday. Have a look. The consequence. Would have had. Would have and the past participle. So the condition after if, what do you think? Yes, if I had gone to your dinner last night. If I had gone to your dinner last night. Okay. Number 7. If you knew the answer, why blank you blank me? If you knew the answer, why wouldn't you tell me? Why wouldn't you tell me? Okay? Yes, this is second conditional because we have past simple and we need would and the bare infinitive. Why wouldn't you tell me? Okay? Right. The last one. I blank buy a cola from that machine if I had any money. Now the condition is in a simple past. Had. So here again, the consequence is would and the bare infinitive. I would buy a cola from that machine if I had any money. Okay. Now, before we finish this exercise, mind you, don't forget that we can still use mixed conditionals. Mixed conditionals gather between two parts from two different if cases, the second and the third, and they are mainly about an imaginary situation that happened in the past and its present consequence, or vice versa, an imaginary situation in a present and its past consequence. So we can still use mixed conditionals with some of these sentences, right? Okay, but to relieve you from obscurance and from ambiguity, I just want you to stick to the forms, recognized, the three cases, first, second, and third. Okay. Question 2 is about unless, as long as, providing, or provided that, in case, which is called connectives or connectors, words that we use to connect sentences. Okay. 1. Rewrite the sentences using the words given. You won't finish in time if you don't hurry. Mind you, gentlemen, I always advise you to give you a time to practice, to give yourself time to practice, time to depend on yourself to do the exercise. Even though you will find the answers of these two exercises by the end of this lesson, I just want you to try to answer it again on your own. before watching the video, after watching the video. All the time, try to give yourself a practice time so that you know how to do it. Practice makes perfect. Always remember, practice makes perfect. Okay. You won't finish in time if you don't hurry. Use unless. Can you help me? You know, unless is equal to if not. Unless means if not. إذا لم. So, what can we write here? What can we write here? We can say, you won't finish in time unless you hurry. So, if I use unless, we cannot use don't, because in that case we will be having two negative forms, and that is contrary to the fact. So if you use unless, make sure you delete the negative, partition, don't. Okay. Take your mobile phone because you may need to call me. And we're supposed to use in case. In case. في حالة. Take your mobile phone. Are you ready? And instead of saying because you may need to call me, I just delete because, and we can also delete because and may. So take your mobile phone in case you may need to call me, or in case you need to call me. Again, number 3, they will win the match, but only if they do their best, provided on one condition. Yeah, they will win the match, we can say provided that, or providing that they do their best. So the part we are going to delete here, but only if. This is equal to provided or providing. Okay. 4, we won't need Yasser in the team except if someone is ill. And again, we need to use unless. So we can say we won't need Yasser in the team unless someone is ill. Unless someone is ill. So we're going to delete except if. Except if must be deleted here for the meaning to be okay. We'll be able to make sandwiches if Sumaya remembers to bring the bread. So again, we will be able to make sandwiches as long as Sumaya remembers to bring the bread. So as long as Sumaya remembers to bring the bread. Okay? And we should delete if here. Right. They will let you in, but only if you have your ID card. And we're supposed to use providing that. We can say they will let you in providing that you have your ID card. So we're going to delete but only if, because it's the same as providing that. Okay, gentlemen, I leave you the other 2 or the other 4 sentences for practice. this exercise is over, and we have got exercise 3 for our next class, inshallah, along with the vocabulary section. Hopefully you benefited from today's class. Don't forget to give yourself much time for practice so that you become better at English. Thank you so much. Now I show you the answers of the 2 previous exercises. Thank you.